So, Ίφε, thank you for being with us. And the first question is, you're starting pretty well this season in EuroLeague with 6 wins over the first 8 games. When the season started, did you expect to be so impactful as a team and be in one of the top 3 seeds?
I'm not going to say that we had certain expectations in terms of where we would be. We believe in our capabilities as a team. It's also interesting it's always interesting to see the dynamic of the team when you have a new coach. You know, after the first couple of games, I think there were certain thoughts of where we potentially could be. But for us, we're just going out there and playing our style of basketball and trying to compete every night. So, I mean, it's going good right now, and we're obviously feeding off of our momentum, and hopefully we can keep the ball rolling.
You started pretty well with some statement wins over Monaco, over Armani Milan in last Tuesday. Do you feel that we didn't see the real potential of Vίrτους Μπολόνια so far, or those types of games proving who you are as a team?
I think it's always very good to have some sort of clue of who you are in terms of your identity as a team. We're only 8 games into the season, so, you know, we have more or less showed what we're capable of, but I also think we can improve in certain areas and aspects of our game, the way we like to play. So, you know, we take it one game at a time and try to improve.
How much do you enjoy playing for this team?
Personally?
Yeah.
I enjoy playing a lot. I mean, you know, there's more freedom now than there maybe was before. Our chemistry is amazing, fantastic. Everybody plays for one another, and we have a common goal, and that's trying to win the game regardless of certain other elements throughout the game. So we just try to win the game, and that's the most important thing.
Speaking about your joy for the game, how big factor Lúka Bánkι is for being so impactful and so joyful for the game in this team this season?
I personally think he is the factor. You know, he brings a certain energy, his personality, his willingness. You can almost see that when you're on the court and when you're playing the game that he wants to be out there, you know what I mean? Because he has just certain characteristics that's like he enjoys it so much that he thinks he's almost out there. So it's always nice to play for someone who lets you play with freedom, lets you just make the reads, and you know, to play for someone who wants it as much as you.
It's a little bit early in the season, but where would you like to set the bar for this team? What is the ceiling, the real ceiling of Vίrτους Μπολόνια?
I'm not one for saying this team has a certain ceiling, this team can go this far and that far. I mean, obviously we have our goal, and that's ultimately try to win as much as possible, but we gotta stay calm and humble and take it one game at a time. And I think that's the right approach for us to have, because we're enjoying it, we're enjoying the moment a lot right now, and we have a lot of momentum. So I think it's a good idea to just enjoy it, keep on going, keep on improving, and taking it day by day.
You have another tough road game for you ahead of you against Panathinαϊκός at Oaka. They coming after a dramatic win over Žalgiris at home. So, what type of challenge for you is this game?
I mean, obviously it's a huge game. You know, playing in Oaka, it's always very, very difficult. That's the first. They have an extremely talented group of guys. We are aware that they're a new team with a new coach, etc. But that doesn't change the fact that they also play really well as of late. And so, you know, I think it's going to be a very, very good game. Hopefully we'll get a win, but you know, let's see.
You will face some top-level guards like Kostas Lukas, Luka Vildoza, Kendrick Nunn, the newcomer of Panathinaikos. Those type of matchups for you, how help you to be the best version of yourself and raise the level of your game?
It's always nice to face, you know, the best of the best. It's always a nice challenge. Personally, I like those challenges, so it's going to be fun.
You played for CSKA Moscow, a EuroLeague caliber and championship caliber team, and now do you feel that there is some similarities between championship caliber team like CSKA and this season for Virtus?
You could say that in some ways, yes. Obviously, my situation going to CSKA was very weird at the time because I was just thrown into EuroLeague first and foremost, but I wasn't just thrown into EuroLeague, I was thrown into the best team in the league. And so I had to learn how to be around the, EuroLeague veterans like Danny, for example, who's been at that level, playing with Mike also, with Toko, who's also here. Of course, I mean, we had so many talented guys on that team, and it was just, everybody understood the mission, everybody understood the goal, and to compare to this team, I feel like the mindset is more or less the same in terms of what we want to accomplish, but of course we have less experience, and that's also a fun part because you take it as you go, right? So, me having played, maybe a little bit more EuroLeague games than some of the other guys on the team, it's also a thing for me where I can try to help on my leadership, trying to, show them a little bit of the experience that I have had so far. But I like the path that we're on.
You live in a basketball city like Bologna. The energy at Segafredo Arena, how help you as a player to be so impactful and so dominant on the floor?
It helps a lot. I think we have some of the best fans in Europe, to be honest with you. They always electrify the arenas that we play in. Even when we go on the road, they're always there, and it's I've never experienced that before, playing for a fan base that travels every game, literally, if you play domestic league or away. So it's always nice to have that support, and they're always with you, and of course they mean a lot to us in terms of bringing that energy every game.
You signed with Vírtus right after your NBA experience with Phoenix Suns. Speaking about your NBA stint, how more mature you became as a player?
I became a lot more mature. Even though it was a short stint, I learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about my goals, how to approach the game, how to approach who I am as an individual, and how to attack each day. So I felt that even though it was short, that it was very meaningful for me.
Do you feel like Devin Booker of Vίrτους Μπολόνια?
I do play number one. I am light-skinned, but of course I cannot compare myself to Devin Booker. I mean, he's in a league of his own. He's one of the best, if not the best shooting guard in the NBA, so it's a whole nother level over there, but he was an awesome dude.
And lastly, we have some questions from the fans for you, because we asked the fans to send us some questions about you, and the first one is let me see. The first one is from a fan of Ike who asked us, what would you like to send as advice to a young player who starts right now to play basketball?
Enjoy it, build that passion, and believe in yourself. Don't let anyone tell you that you are not good enough or you cannot accomplish whatever you want to do. Just keep working for what you want, and at least that will put you in a position to accomplish, if not the goal, but at least close to the goal.
The second one is from Spiros, who asked us, who is the favorite to win EuroLeague from your perspective?
That's a tough question. I mean, you always want to cheer for your own team. So if I cannot say myself, there are obviously certain contenders over there. Madrid is playing really well. They haven't lost. They are the defending champions. So you should always put the defending champions at least in that conversation. But I think there are many good teams this season, and it's going to be very interesting to see who comes out on top.
The third one is from Nikos, who asked us, which was the feeling coming from the NBA and trying to be one of the best players in Europe?
What was the feeling?
Yeah.
The feeling was that
and play for one of the best teams in Europe as well.
Just trying to make a statement in terms of myself, of where I want to be recognized as a player. I'm aware that I need to put in the work, as I have always done, and I will continue to do that because I have certain goals also, and in order to achieve those goals, you got to keep working.
And the last one is from Takis, who asked us, did you ever in talks with Panathinaikos, or were close to sign a deal with them, and if yes, what went wrong at the end?
There has been talks with Pana in the past, yes. There's been interest. but I'm not going to go into details of what those conversations were.
It was before you go to the NBA, just for a clarification.
Yes.
Thank you very, very much.
You're welcome.